Hi everyone, welcome back to Mrs. Food channel. I hope everyone is doing amazing. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a very tasty and simple Ghana fish pie recipe. So if you are interested, let's get right into it. For the ingredients, I'm going to use tuna. This is tuna in brine. I have diced some onions. I have spring onions. I'm also going to add some carrots. I have some all food seasoning by Sweet Ajele, by the way. I have got garlic granules, some crayfish cube, and I have my thickener, which is a mixture of water and flour, some salt to taste. So that's all. So I'm going to heat up some oil, and by the way, I'm using vegetable oil, but please feel free to use olive oil or even coconut oil, whichever you think is best for you. So when the oil is hot, I'm going to fry my onions, and I used my food processor to get it so tiny. Then I'm going to stir it, cook for about 3 minutes, and add in my tuna. And as I said in the beginning, this is tuna in brine. You can also use tuna in sunflower oil, but then you use the oil instead of the vegetable oil. Then I'm going to stir it, leave it for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to add my carrots. I didn't add a lot of carrots because I just wanted a little bit. And I am also going to add my spring onions, and the same, I just use a little bit of spring onions. You do it the way you like it. And then I'm going to stir it and leave it to cook for about 5 minutes on a medium heat. Then I am going to add my garlic granules or garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning, and I am also going to add a bit of crayfish cube, and this is totally optional. You don't have to use it. Then some salt to taste. So that's it for the seasoning I'm using today. So now I'm going to stir it. And since I like my meat pie or fish pie to be moist on the inside, I have mixed water and flour to get a thickener. So this is the consistency you're supposed to get, okay? And then I'm going to pour it. I'm going to start with half of it first and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to stir it, and here I think I need a bit more because I want it to be moist. Okay, very moist. So that's it. This is exactly how I like it. So I'm going to stir it, leave it for a further 2-3 minutes, and this is it. So I'm done with my filling. I'm going to let it cool down. So now on to the dough. So I've got all-purpose flour here, or plain flour, and I have also got cold margarine. You can also use butter, but it must be very cold. So I'm going to add some salt to taste, and then I'm going to add some ground nutmeg. It is very nice in meat pies or fish pies, but if you don't like it, do not use it. And then I'm also going to add some onion granules. Usually I would use fresh onion and fresh garlic mixed with water, but this time I'm going to do it very simple. All right, then I'm going to mix the dried ingredients, and then I am going to add in my cold margarine or cold butter. If you are using salted butter or salted margarine, make sure you do not add too much salt because it is already salted. So now with my washed and clean hands, I am going to rub the margarine in the flour, just like this. If you think the container is too small, please switch to a bigger one. And I wanted to finish it off with my mixer or stand mixer because I was going to make a lot of fish pie. So this is how it's supposed to be, like breadcrumb. This is the end results. So feel free to do it all manually if you like. Then I am going to add water because we need a dough. Sometimes I switch the water with milk, but yeah, this is a very simple recipe. So, and water is much cheaper anyway. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more of water here. So yeah, I'm going to mix it until I get the dough. And again, I'm going to finish it off with my stand mixer, but this is me. All right guys, so this is what I wanted. I've got my dough ready here, and I'm going to divide it into 3 large doughs, and I am going to keep it in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Okay, but before that I am going to cover it with some cling film. All right, and then put it in the fridge. So guys, I am back after 15 minutes. I have already lined my baking tray with some parchment paper, and underneath there is margarine just to keep it in place. And I'm going to start off with one of the doughs, and it is nice and cold. My fridge is very cold, by the way. So yeah, very simple. Dust some flour on your working table and start your meat pie. So I took a bit of the dough, sprinkled a little bit more flour on it, and now I'm going to flatten it with my rolling pin. You can also use a clean bottle if you don't have a rolling pin. Okay, so make it flat but not too flat. And then I'm going to cut the circle. Today I'm using a bowl, but usually I use a cutter, because they also have meat pie cutters that you can get from Amazon. But if you have balls, I think it is much easier. And then I'm going to add my meat pie filling right in the middle. I really like when my meat pie is nicely filled, so I'm not stingy. I'm gonna add a lot. Then I'm going to close it and press it down with my finger. You can also use a fork if you like, but I think it's more beautiful when you use your finger. So that's it. So I'm going to carry on with the remaining dough, and I'm going to place it on my baking tray. And I am also preheating at the same time my oven at 170 degrees Celsius. And then I am going to break some eggs because we need to brush those meat pies. All right. So yeah, you need an egg. But if you do not have eggs, you can always replace it with milk. Yes, it works with fresh milk. So once you have done this, just brush the meat pie with the egg wash or the fresh milk. And that's it. And then I'm going to poke some holes on the meat pie because we don't want the air to be trapped inside. And that's it. Now it's going to go in the oven. So I am also doing the other tray, so because my oven is big enough for 2 trays. So it's gonna go in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. So guys, these are my fish pies, and it smells so delicious in the kitchen. They look amazing. And voila, I'm just gonna let them cool down a little bit, and then I am going to show you how it looks like on the inside. And I had so many fish pies with this recipe, guys, really a lot of them. So now let's see the inside. Wonderful. A very nice fish pie or tuna pie recipe. So my dear friends, this is the end of my recipe. I really hope you enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to share my videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know when you have tried it. And I'll see you next time for another Mrs. Jury recipe. Thank you all, and bye bye.